Hey friends, we are doing a long pour special, just a YouTube special. It is, we love football, man, and we try not to nerd it up and talk too much about football. But there's one particular thing going on that I feel like we as college football fans need to talk about.
Yes, Florida State got screwed. And I hate Florida State. I know you do too, because we're Notre Dame fans.
Yes,
We remember 1993.
always remember, never forget. Whatever tagline works for you.
Yeah.
But maybe never forget. Is that used?
I mean,
Is never forget used for something, Todd?
Not that I know
Okay.
uh,
I like never forget. 1993.
yeah.
We got wrong.
Anyways, so
Tell him. Do you know? I know you know some college football. Do you know enough of do you know anything about Notre Dame and Florida State in 1993?
of. Nothing.
Okay. They play a 1-2 game. Notre Dame smashes them. And I use that term. It wasn't a smashing. It was an all-time classic game. Notre Dame won with the great Lou
game.
Holtz. The very next week, Notre Dame got upset by the hated Boston College Eagles. Fuck Doug Flutie. Even though he wasn't playing.
Oh, I remember that game.
Yeah, you remember. There's awesome when he did the Hail Mary against Miami, but fuck him otherwise.
The guy can't reach a countertop.
He's another. We talked about on the podcast about Mariah Carey being a terrible person. Doug Flutie is also a terrible person. It's not negotiable. I won't even defend. I won't even defend.
I don't know.
Just trust me, Todd. Just trust me. So
all facts here.
Anyways, so Boston College wins the very next week. So it's number one. Both teams finished 11-1. They gave the national championship to Florida State, even though Notre Dame beat them head to head, and they both had one loss. So fuck
Notre
Florida
Dame
State.
finished the season in the 2 spot.
Yeah, number 2, and that's 1993. So that's
when they just voted, right?
Yeah. So 30 years ago, and I'll still hold a grudge. But on the Florida State won their conference. Basically, they
won all their games.
They won. All you can do is win the games that you play, and they did that. And they lost their spot to Alabama, who did have a loss. And there's a lot of people that, mostly Florida State fans and Florida people, and Rick DeSantis, who claims he's going to sue over the matter, which I don't believe. He really, I'm not making that up.
Or he says.
Yeah. But that's how serious they take their football. So hey, if you want to get elected in a football crazy state and your team got screwed over, in your opinion, say you're going to sue on their behalf.
Right.
That's how you win elections. Fun fact. Anyways, but Alabama, who I think is a better team. I hate Alabama. I think they're going to win it all. Honestly, now that they're in. But where do you guys? I know you think Florida State got screwed.
Alabama's a better team, but
yes.
They didn't win all their games. They lost to Texas.
I agree. I don't think any team should be in the playoffs if they could not win their conference.
Absolutely. I mean, Alabama did.
You're going to agree with that when our favorite team doesn't even play in a conference? So thus cannot win a conference?
I mean, but Notre Dame.
But yeah, that's the one. I forgot about that.
Todd, you're kicked off the guest spot.
Notre Dame usually.
We've opened a black hole in the universe.
A tough schedule.
They play a tough schedule, so they would find their way in, I'm sure.
Just on merit, all jokes aside, if you watch enough college football. At first, they just said willy-nilly, they just sort of made up a champion, picked a national champion, and then they did a super secret, as a BCS. It was basically algorithms decided who was 1 and 2, and then a number of years ago, they're like, dude, let's do what every other sport does and do some sort of playoff. So it's a 14 playoff, even though there's 5 major divisions. They were like, fuck math. We're not even going to worry about that.
Well, it's going to be a 12-team playoff next year.
Next year's
which
next
would
year.
really
It'll be fun.
Would really help this year.
Absolutely, agreed. So, but the mission of this playoff, Todd, is the argument they're supposed to pick the 4 best teams.
Right.
That is their mission. The 4 best teams in the country in a playoff. That does not necessarily mean the 4 undefeated teams or the 4 winners of a conference.
Right.
It leaves a subjective thing to the argument. So
They're not making a competition decision. They're making a business decision.
do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with it.
Uh-huh. Do you
No.
understand it?
Right. Oh yeah, I fully understand it. I just
Do you think because Florida State's quarterback got hurt, like
that's what they're considering. That's what they're using.
Do you
But
believe that?
because sports, anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anything could
True.
happen. Arizona beat Pittsburgh a couple
True.
weeks ago. So
True.
Yeah, absolutely.
which you never would thought would happen.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I'm burping from drinking. I can't disagree with that at all. They won other games. They probably deserved a seat at the table. I sort of kind of subscribe to they're supposed to put in the 4 best teams. I know what Alabama's been under Nick Saban. I know the athletes they have. They beat Georgia head to head. You're not getting more impressive win than that. I don't think Florida State had anybody on their schedule that even comes close to Georgia. So I think on a neutral field, I think Alabama would beat Florida State. Certainly now without their quarterback,
Right.
and probably even with the great Jordan Travis, who's a phenomenal player. So I'm not. I guess while I understand where you guys are coming from, I am not going to shed a tear for one. Free Shoes University,
And they are
Sparrow was
accurate.
called them.
They are accurate. That quarterback that came in was not good
Mhm.
for Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Not good.
not
Mhm.
good. Yeah.
Doug Flutie could do that.
Does now, like,
Yeah,
he's
right
on,
now.
He's on that, like, I don't think it's testosterone, but he's on that, like, supplement with Frank Thomas. Yeah.
Eugenics.
Yeah. Give him a little Nugenics. He's like, I can still throw it 50 yards.
Yeah, he and
run
Frank
around.
Thomas are the same height now.
Yeah. Frank looks, besides Nugenics, Frank looks like he's eating some chicken wings too.
Dude.
Like truth be told, some desserts.
He looks like a different person
Yeah.
that entered the Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
We're talking about the big herd. That's a stomach ache after a 48-ounce steak and mashed potatoes.
So that sounds good.
I'm kidding, Frank. Please don't hurt me.
I guess he's not coming on this podcast,
it's definitely
is he?
no big hurt for us. But I don't. Is there anything else? Anything else that needs to be?
No, I mean, I think Florida State deserves to be in the conversation because they went undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson's in that same division, and if they went undefeated, they'd be in there.
Correct.
I think they just didn't want to leave out the SEC.
I know what you mean. Todd knows what you mean. For the people
Yes.
that are casual football fans, the SEC, the Southeastern Conference,
Yeah.
the preeminent. I hate them, but the preeminent football.
I mean,
Football
everybody
conference.
expected Georgia to win it all. Alabama, beat them, and
They're going to get an SEC team in.
Yeah.
If you'd have to have like 2 losses probably for them.
So Alabama won the conference, right? Because they're
once
won
they
in
beat
finals.
Georgia, because they beat Georgia
they-
head to head.
Right.
But they just had who did they? Oh, they lost to and they lost to Texas. And Texas was out of conference, and so Texas is also one of the teams in the playoffs. So we may very well see a rematch of that situation. Now, I will tell you what I would have more so than the look. They fucked up by they should have just had 6 games like from the start, so you have all your 5 conferences
Absolutely.
represented, winners, and then like an at-large bid. But no, that
For
would have
Notre
been
Dame.
that would have been too exactly. That would have been too easy. So they did 4. It is what it is. But more so to me than the Florida State thing that I would have an issue with if I'm a Texas fan and I beat Alabama in the regular season,
Mhm.
but then we rematch in the national championship game and Bama wins that one. So 1-1, but they
Right.
just say give the national championship to Bama and fuck the regular the first result. I have a bit. To me, that would set me on fire. Like if I'm a Texas fan, I'm like bullshit. Special year, we do a rubber match the very next weekend. and who wins, winner take all. Because they will.
Best out of 3.
Exactly, because they will if that happens, that they're giving the national championship to Alabama, and like the September result will mean nothing.
I might have an answer to all of it. What they probably should do, considering where I live, is leave Michigan out and put Florida State in.
Cheating ass Michigan. That is
Absolutely.
that we buried the lead right there. We reside in Ohio. Michigan's cheaters.
I'm not going there. I think they did everything
That
things
they-
everybody else did, but just a little more
Levels, Todd.
yeah,
Levels.
a little more sophisticated.
Yes, did
with
that.
a flip phone.
Yeah, a little more aggressive. Fake mustaches as well. That guy was on the opposing coach's sideline.
Was it?
Well, he dressed up as an assistant coach on another team's sideline, which is almost like comic book villain like levels.
Spy versus
Yeah,
spy.
yeah. Fake
Man,
sunglasses.
Jim
and-
Harbaugh is really working for it.
That's and fuck khaki pants and his stupid ass Dockers. Now you got me. Now you got me on it. That is the look. Fuck Florida State for 1993. I will forever say that. But more like,
Absolutely.
we
absolutely
reside in
with you.
Ohio. Fuck Michigan cheating. They don't deserve it. I hope Alabama stomps them. Jim Harbaugh is worse than Mariah Carey.
I think I started something.
Yeah, fuck you, Jim Harbaugh. But we'd love to have you on the podcast.
Fuck Dockers pants. Is he wearing Dockers?
Probably.
Who makes better khaki pants than Dockers? I bet he's wearing Dockers. We should research that. I'm not going to research that at all.
All right, guys, I think we're off topic here. I think we should.
Way off.
I think we should call it. I got 2 bottles of Malort. I think we should finish them. See y'all next
We
time.
should fuck Jim Harbaugh.